So.
We set that timer again.
We'll give you a little latitude. If you'd state your name and address, please,
Sure.
and then
Hi,
we'll start
everyone.
the timer. So.
I am Tammy Marino, and I live at 7003 Gossamer Lane in Telfair. And I actually spoke with Ruth Lomer on one of the 3 requests for information. I spoke with her earlier, and she was super helpful. And I think a lot of what I'm about to say is fairly fruitless because I feel like a lot of this is already kind of a done deal. But I'm going to go forward anyway so that I can say, I said my piece. I think, first of all, I think there's a flaw in the process. As it was explained to me, these 400 multifamily units were proposed in the original Telfair Development Plan, which was submitted in 2004. No one was living here in 2004. No one got to come to a public hearing in 2004 and say, no, we don't want apartments there. Telfair's being built as a very high-end luxury community. And yet it's in there. So tonight we have this public hearing, but it's almost as if anything we say, it doesn't matter. 400 apartments can go into that site. And I think that the flaw in the process is that a lot has changed since 2004. In 2004, the economy was rosy. The schools were doing great. Our school wasn't even there yet, so it certainly wasn't overcrowded. Now it's 2011. We have overcrowded schools. Sugar Land isn't on the top of the list in Money Magazine anymore, and it certainly won't continue to be if we keep putting in apartments. We have apartment complexes throughout the Sugar Land area that are all operating right now with over a 15% vacancy rate. We have 450 to 600 more apartments coming in at Imperial. Another 400 apartments in Telfair. Everything that's built as a high-end apartment, when those don't sell or don't rent, they very quickly become not so high-end. As far as the townhomes, we just had Lake Point come in here and say townhomes aren't selling. We're changing ours to offices. So why approve a plan that has townhomes when another community is dying to get rid of their townhomes? My second thing is that I feel like with Sugar Land being a crown jewel of master planned communities, it sort of prides itself on how very master planned it is, and quite frankly that's what brought me here from New York. I find it odd that the city of Sugar Land and Fort Bend ISD don't work closer together. Mayor Thompson, I was here last year begging you to talk to Fort Bend ISD because of the overcrowded situation, and thankfully things worked out to a degree because Fort Bend bought the land in Telfair, and hopefully we will get a high school eventually. But again, you're setting people up for being in trailers from kindergarten through the 12th grade by putting in 400 apartments in Telfair. My children are going to be in trailers throughout elementary school. They're going to an overcrowded middle school. They'll be in trailers there. And the high school is at 125% capacity, and the new one might not be built by the time my kids are in school. 4 of them, by the way. 4 kids in trailers. Isn't that nice? My last point is, and this is just me beseeching you, much like my friend and neighbor Kyle mentioned, I think that it's great that you put signs out when there are hearings coming. I think that to put a sign out on University Boulevard behind an existing Telfair community sign on a street where people are driving the speed limit of 45 miles per hour and expecting people then to inquire about it, it's not going to happen. You have to stop your car to even read the website address, which, by the way, is the only information on that sign. I think using the Telfair Life website with stuff like this, and certainly other communities, when they're affected, use their websites and go there and blast it out to people via email, unless you don't really want the public comment. But I truly believe that the city of Sugar Land does want public comment, and if you do, you need to make it easier for us to know about this. I'm very active in the community. I've been running from meeting to meeting for the last 2 weeks with no idea that this was coming. And if you come into Telfair from the other side of the community, oh well, you never saw that sign. So I beseech you to maybe change the communication process, and again, the process of submitting a general plan in 2004 that then 7 years later is a done deal without any opportunity to amend that plan and decrease the number of units that is called for, I think there's a flaw there. So I ask you to consider that. Thank you.
Last opportunity to speak during the public hearing. We will close the public hearing at this time. First, consideration of an action on the City of Sugar Land Ordinance 1826 an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sugar Land, Texas, permanently zoning 84.318 acres of land located at the northeast corner of the intersection of U.S. Highway 59 and University Boulevard within the Telfair development to a planned development zoning district PD as general development plan. Again, Ms. Ruth Lummer. Ruth?
I have nothing further to add. I can answer any questions the council may have, and the applicant is also here.
Okay, thank you, Ruth. Questions of council? Councilmember Chaumet.
Okay, at least two of our residents raised the issue of communication. Can you briefly explain for those in the audience, what are the steps that we take to notify those who are in a close proximity to the project that something's going on?
Sure. With any zoning process, we notify property owners within 200 feet by sending out a notification based on their the latest the latest tax roll. So whatever properties are within 200 feet of the rezoning, and then we also publish a notification in the newspaper, and we put out a courtesy sign, which is the sign that they're referencing, and unfortunately the signs are not very large, but that's what we have to use. So we placed it in the location that we could find best, and I'm sorry that it was not as effective as we might have hoped, but that is what we do for all of our zoning processes.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that you do send out the notices to those.
Yes, ma'am. All the property owners within 200 feet would have been notified.
Okay, and another comment that I would like to address that was brought up.
I'm sorry, we do also send, I'm so sorry for interrupting.
That's all right.
Also notify the homeowners association. We include them whether they're
So something was sent to the HOA.
Correct.
Okay. Another comment that was made was on the PD process and making sure that we have the same high quality. It was made by Mr. Brantley. And I just wanted to tell you that one of the things about the PD process, and actually this is a general statement to everyone else, is that we actually can enhance the quality of the product through the PD process. And like you, the high quality that we have throughout the city is something that we want maintained throughout, including in Telfair. So it's not that we would want to diminish the kind of quality of development that we have coming in Telfair. I just want to assure you of that. And one of the things that you can feel comfortable about in the PD process is that you can put extra specifications or extra requirements through that process. So actually it protects you in a way. That's the point of the planned development process. So I just wanted you to know that, because those were very good points as well. That's all I have so far. Thank you.